Hello. I just wanted to make a video real quick because I've gotten a lot of questions about the loyalty rewards program that I mentioned. So this idea came from Liz Johnson's book, Perk Your Sphere. Liz Johnson was a speaker at the Real Estate Mega Moms Abundance Conference in 2020, which was kind of my first trial by fire introduction to Mega Moms. That was the first thing that I signed up for and then did with them. And then after that, I joined the Inner Circle, and that was a couple years ago. So when I switched brokerages and started my own team, I implemented this loyalty rewards program into my business, and it is something that I started about 6 years into my career. I'm in my 7th year now, so I've been doing it for a full year. The last 3 years, I've averaged like 5 to 6 million in volume, and in the last 3 years, it has been 100% repeat and referral business. I'm expanding this year, so getting back to those leads, but I wanted to give you guys a quick overview about how I do it and what I do. So again, Perk Your Sphere by Liz Johnson is the book. You can watch her training on the Abundance Conference 2020 digital version if you have access to that, or you can just order the book and read it. It's very fast, easy, simple. You can customize it to what you want. But basically, as you know, there are rules about what you can pay or bonus people with for real estate transactions. Only licensed people are supposed to be paid for closings. So I don't ever reward anyone based on oh, you sent me this referral, it closed, so I'm going to give you a chunk of it. Nothing like that. That person would have to be licensed for me to do that. The only thing that this loyalty rewards program does is rewards the behavior. So at the base level, it is a membership. Anyone who considers me their realtor of choice, whether they have transacted with me or not, but they've expressed that I am their realtor of choice, has a right to be in my loyalty rewards program. And I have some very active members who have never transacted, but have sent me referrals. Some who have tried to send me referrals, hasn't worked out, but they're planning on whenever they sell, they're biggest fans, I know that at some point they're going to send me a referral that's going to stick. So those people, what Liz Johnson in her book recommends is that you have 3 tiers and that you name those 3 tiers something that resonates with your audience. So my base level of my loyalty rewards program is the partner level. If you are my client, if you've signed a buyer agency or listing agreement with me, or if you have let me know that I'm your realtor of choice, or if you've sent me a referral, then you get to be a partner of mine. If you're a partner, what you get is invites to partner-only events. So for instance, this year I am in the Kansas City market, so I'm going to buy tickets to the Royals game for any of my partners who want to go. And they have to RSVP, but I'm going to say, how many want to go? I'm going to buy tickets. It's not that expensive. You can Royals tickets for $10. So that's an example of a partner-only event that I'm going to do. And again, partners are people who have expressed that I am their realtor of choice. They're not someone who has to have transacted, but they would choose me if they were going to. The second thing that partners get is a monthly giveaway. I call it the offer of the month. That is what Liz Johnson calls it in her book as well. In the Abundance Conference, she said that she started out with a budget of about $300 a month, and I did as well. However, I realized I don't need to spend that much for my offer of the month. So what I did last year was I took $300, and then I tried to figure out what I could get for $300 that I could give to as many people as possible. So I started out with car detailing, gave some of those away, massages at Mother's Day, they're doing half off, gave some of those away. Sometimes it was gift cards, sometimes it was for Valentine's Day. I'm thinking, last year was the first month we did it was February. And so I did 6 dozen roses to give away for Valentine's Day. And, a lot of the guys on my partner list came out of the woodwork and said, "Oh, yeah, I'll pick up a dozen roses from you if I can get them for free and give them to my wife on Valentine's Day," So things like that. The whole point of the offer of the month is to see people face to face. That's the whole entire point. Liz Johnson, the one who wrote the book, she has people meet her at her office. When I started this program, I didn't have an office. I was still working from my home. Like I said, most of my business is repeat and referral or sphere. And so I felt comfortable having people come to my home to pick up the gifts last year. But I did find that scheduling that was kind of tricky with family things and schedules. And so at the end of last year, I opened an office. So now it's a little bit easier that I have an actual office space, and I think people feel a little more comfortable coming there. But also, I have decreased my budget from $300 a month for the offer of the month to just $100 a month. And what we do now is we just do one really awesome baller basket. So like for the January one, it was a charcuterie themed basket. And so I had like a couple different charcuterie boards, a cheese plate, some meats, like an olive tapenade, some crackers, and an actual basket that's like usable too. And I just went to TJ Maxx and like threw a whole bunch of stuff in the cart, spent like $100 and have this awesome charcuterie basket that I get to give away. And then I draw that person who wins it from my loyalty rewards partners. The person who wins it has to come get it from me from my office. And the whole point, again, is for me to see that person in person, for me to have something to give them of value that they want, that they're willing to drive to my office during business hours and pick it up from me. And probably a big enough deal that they're going to post on social media about it. I'm going to take a picture of them while they're there and post it on social media and say, "Hey, am I your realtor of choice? If so, I have a loyalty rewards program." It's also a really cool way. You meet someone that's like, "Oh yeah, well, when I use you, I would totally use you, but we're not moving for like 10 years, You can take that information and say, "Awesome. You don't have to sell your house anytime soon, but like I have this database of like people who consider me their realtor of choice, and you get free stuff every month. Do you want to be a part of it?" And then they give you all their info, and they really are hooked. They really are clients for life, especially if they win something because they feel like they owe you something. When you see these people face to face, it's not just about relationship building. I always ask, who do you know that needs to buy or sell real estate in the next 6 months? Who can you think of that you could refer to me? And I straight up ask it just like that. And I'm a pretty upfront person. You probably don't have to be as bold, but I mean, people don't seem offended. So that's how I ask. I just say, who do you know that needs to buy or sell real estate? And they almost always come up with an answer. So that is the partner level. Again, partner level is events and offer of the month giveaway. The second level is, gosh, I don't even know what it's called. Anyway, second level, champion level. That's what it's called. So the partners, then there's champions. Champions are people who are active clients. So you've signed a buyer agency or you've signed a listing agreement, or you sent me a referral and that person actually met with me for an appointment, like a buyer consult or a listing appointment, one of those two things. I don't have to close the appointment. Like they don't have to choose me as their realtor. And if they don't, the person who referred them to me still gets rewarded for sending me that referral. And that champion level, what you get is a $10 Starbucks card that gets reloaded with $10 each month for 6 months. The reason we kept Starbucks, that's what Liz Johnson uses in her book. The reason we kept Starbucks is because it's an easy system that we can control. I would have loved to have supported, a local coffee shop, but I also work in a large geographical area where not everybody lives close to where I do. So we kept Starbucks because she had already worked out a system that works, and you can do it all from online. It's not something like, we have stickers that we put on an actual Starbucks card that has my logo on it. And then we send it to them in the mail. We say, "Hey, do not throw this card away. Do not transfer this card to another card because this is how we're going to reload it every month. And so when they pay for their coffee, it has my name on it. Like it has my logo, my sticker. Like when they pull it out of their wallet, the barista's going to be like, what's this? And the whoever they're with is going to be like, what? Your realtor has their own Starbucks card, like, so, that in and of itself, I think has a lot of brand value to it, but, you get free Starbucks for 6 months if you send me a referral or if you transact with me. If you send me another referral or do another transaction within that 6-month period, you get a $25 bonus and an additional 6 months of Starbucks. So if you keep sending me a referral every 6 months, you could never run out of Starbucks. And there are people who are on like their 3rd or 4th round already in just, we're in our 2nd year. So there are people who have had Starbucks cards almost the whole time because they've sent me multiple referrals. That's also one of the reasons why I decreased my offer of the month budget is because I wanted the person who goes out of their way to come to my office to pick up a gift to feel like they were really getting something worthwhile. And not just like one thing or one gift card that I totally could have mailed them, but I was like, oh, I need you to pick it up so that I can have a conversation with you, But I also have found since I do get so many referrals, excuse me, I have really like the Starbucks rewards, reloading those coffee cards every month has been more motivating to my client base than the offer of the month. Because there's people who send me referrals who have never even entered to win the offer of the month, but they always say thank you when I reload their Starbucks card and they're super happy about it. So the 3rd level would be, again, I don't even know the name of it. The reason I don't know is because I have an experience coordinator who works for me, and she's the one who handles almost all of this. So it's been a while since I had to explain it. But the 3rd level would be the highest level, and we actually haven't done a whole lot with that level yet. And what it includes would be anybody who sends me 3 referrals or transacts with me 3 times in 1 year. Once you reach that level, you've sent me 3 referrals, or maybe you bought and sold a house and sent a referral in 1 year. That would put you at that highest, like elite level. I'm pretty sure it's called elite. What we would probably do for elite once we have a group of those people, because right now there's probably only one person that would qualify for that, is we would have like an elite level only event, and that's going to be a little more bougie, like, renting out a space or going to a show or, something a little more classy or expensive than just a Royals game. Elite level, also once you hit the elite level, and again, we have to formulate this out a little bit more, but the vision is to like send them a swag bag, like Chosen Homes team decked out, like you get a hat, you get a t-shirt, you get a coffee tumbler, like you get a bumper sticker, like like you get Chosen Homes team everything because you're obviously my biggest fan. And so I want to reward you with that. For sending me business and for continuing to put my name out there and send me business. I'm going to continue to say thank you to you for that. So a common question that Liz Johnson covered in her book and in her talk on Abundance Conference was, what about people who like might say I'm their realtor of choice and then they're taking this free stuff from me, but then they never send me business? You don't really have to worry about that, because someone who is not your biggest fan is not going to sign up for free stuff. Because they gotta go out of their way. Like they gotta come to you to get it. They gotta look you in the eye, And I actually did have a situation where a past client who bought and sold several homes with me over the years had gotten divorced, and I knew they got divorced. I sent him a condolence card, because he was like torn up about it. It wasn't like an amicable thing. So I even sent like a, hey, I'm sorry card, He wound up selling his house with another agent who was his new neighbor at the house that he was selling. But he still showed up like to win a package of something that I was giving away last year. And you know what? I still gave it to him. the guy did buy and sell several houses with me, and I am thankful for that business. He's moved on, and I've taken him off of my partner list. Sorry, but you got to give way, and I'm not mad about it. What do I lose $50? Like I'm not that concerned about where it ends up. I think that the right people are going to continue to be my biggest fans. They're going to continue to send me business. And I hope that the right people really do feel like I'm thankful that they're sending me the referrals and sending me business. Anyway, that is the loyalty rewards program. I think Liz Johnson calls hers something different, but we brainstormed that name because we wanted it to be very clear by what it was that, like, oh, this is what I'm doing. When I first started it, she has instructions in her book on how to begin, but I did call everyone in my database and say, hey, I'm starting this. I was also switching brokerages at the time, so it was a good time to call them and let them know. And then as soon as I called them, I put a letter in the mail explaining what I told them. And then we followed that letter up with a postcard. And then everyone got invited to the Facebook group. So it was quite the rollout. And then I've just kept it going ever since. So that is the program.